Hello and welcome to Flippin and Mashing, a podcast about pinball, arcade, video game, movies, whatever else we find in our game rooms that just so happen to pop up. With me is Parnell, and with Parnell is
Ryan.
oh, blow my eardrums out.
Perfect.
Ryan, how's it going?
Oh, it's going swimmingly, man. Let me tell you. Just want to let you know, boy, do I have a deal.
Are you drinking anything tonight?
Man, I'm not drinking anything tonight.
You had cracked open something before this podcast, though.
I did, and I already drank all of it.
Didn't you buy like 6 cases of this stuff?
I bought 2 boxes.
Each box has like 6 cases.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, and it's gone.
No. I'm just trying to use it sparingly because I've already been through a box, and I've cracked open the second box. So, but I was drinking a Lagunitas Hop Refresher. It is the most refreshing, lovely, non-alcoholic hop water, sparkling hop water that I think you can possibly find. Because me and Parnell have had a few now, because I've been kind of dabbling my toes into all the different ones, and there's some that taste kind of like carbonated sewage water, and then there's this one, the Lagunitas, and it is mwah, perfection.
Yeah, it definitely tastes like beer. Not very potent, but it has more of an IPA beer taste, and it probably is the most bestest hop water I've found.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I did find some CBD water, carbonated water, up in your neck, right at the local liquor store near you. That stuff was kind of interesting. It made me really relaxed.
Really?
So yeah.
Hmm.
But it kind of tastes like you would expect something that's CBD flavored. So
Oh, okay.
yep. So if you don't like that flavor, boy howdy, are those not for you, because that's all you're getting.
Chewing on hemp.
Yeah, no, that's just about it. Drinking on hemp, actually. But yeah, so Parnell,
Hey, you're just
hey,
skipping ahead.
what
Hey, Mr. Man.
what did I skip?
My drink.
Oh my God. What are you drinking tonight?
I
My lovely Parney.
have cracked open a Sunseeker Shandy from 3rd Street Brewhouse. These are a very refreshing summer drink. They just got back in season, and I have been buying cases upon cases when I see them at the liquor store.
Well, perfect. You can bring me down some tomorrow. Because spoiler alerts, Parnell's coming down to my place tomorrow. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, if everything pans out, which it should, we have some things. Some things have happened.
We do. It's partially why I've already drank a Lagunitas, and Parnell has presumably cracked open a whatever the fuck that lovely shandy thing was. Because we're kind of celebrating tonight, everybody. Tonight was a good night. So, Parnell, I guess before we get to that, because that's really probably the juiciest thing that we have. Um, what's going on in your basement right now? You got anything going on? Any change ups? Maybe selling skill roll. Where are we at?
I have put a chastity belt on Skill Roll, and it's locked to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But ACDC has left the building as of, I think, last week.
Oh
Got
my
picked up
God.
last week. We actually had a listener, Ryan from Wisconsin. He reached out. At first, I thought it was you messaging me. Then I read, the name, and his last name was different, obviously. And we were just chit chatting the other day about a bunch of just pinball stuff and the P3. And I didn't want to tell him that I sold ACDC yet. I wanted say it on the podcast. But yes, I was having a hard time keeping it a secret. But ACDC is gone. That money was already spent. I bought stock in Lagunitas.
That is not true. I
Correct.
mean, you should buy some stock in Lagunitas, but yeah, no.
So that's most of the way there to a P3. We're just saving up the rest. And Swords of Fury is sold and leaving as well.
Gasp.
Yep, Chris sold it to someone, and so I'm going to move it to your house as a transitional location to the next person. So
It's
I
going to
have
take
it.
a lot of restraint not dragging it downstairs and setting it up until they come to pick it up. I'm going to be really honest with you.
Well, if the person that's picking it up can't grab it for like a couple weeks, I mean, you might as well.
You know what? I was thinking the exact same thing. I might as well.
I played it the other day, and yep, I really like it. It I like
Mm.
it. I don't love it enough to pay the price they command.
Sacrilege.
But like the music is very catchy. I love those tunes, and then the shots are pretty unique and they're fun to hit. However, the lock shot is kind of a bitch to hit.
The lock
And
shot is a super bitch to hit.
that and the tunnel to get the far right shot is also kind of a pain in the butt. And those are the only two shots that really make me like the upper horseshoe is hard but doable. And when you hit it, it's very enjoyable and satisfying. But those two outer orbit shots uh just make you angry all the time.
Hmm.
And those I don't like.
Yeah, and I wonder if some of that could be down to like maybe flipper adjustment.
Oh, yeah, potentially.
Yeah, yeah, it's possible.
So
Not, you know, just saying. I'll probably dick with it when it's down here because I don't think they're gonna come get it for like a month. And if that's the case, then I hope they weren't counting on a specific amount of plays on it because it's gonna have a few more.
I don't think you'll notice the difference. The game is more of a player's condition ish.
Yeah, it's like some bastard player's condition. It's
It's like
not collectible. Like
it,
it's
it
not
had
really
like
high end, but
it had the playfield decal done on it, like the overlay, which makes the playfield look good, but then everything else, like the cabinets, kind of worn out. I don't know. Yeah, it
well, and then
definitely.
they fucking painted over the front of it.
Yeah, which you don't notice unless someone points it out.
Yeah, but
Because
then
like,
it's really obvious.
correct, yeah, that cool artwork is gone. I mean,
Yeah.
old Bally's had all black on the front.
Well, yeah, but it's not an old valley.
Yeah, it definitely made money at the height of the hype.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
otherwise,
and you get to hear Lion Man, which I mean, come on, like who doesn't like that?
it's pretty fun. Yeah, I like the multi-ball music. Like it changes. I could I could definitely see a sequel being pretty fun.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I do really enjoy um, Swords of Fury's music, and maybe I haven't played it enough for it to really grow on me. But fuck, man, I absolutely love the chip tunes out of F-14 Tomcat. Like, it's not the most like technical, but goddamn, can I just get down to that down, 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 down.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's. I don't really remember it. I had it, and I can think of it, but
Maybe it's because it was my second pin.
you're very nostalgic to it, and you had it twice.
Maybe yeah, I'll probably own it more than twice. I guarantee you another one's gonna find its way home into my basement again. In one day, I'll break the System 11 curse, and that's probably going to be the biggest reason I don't bring it downstairs. Is because System 11s and me, we just don't fucking get along. Like you can put us in a room together, and I'll just be sitting there, and the System 11 will be like, "Hey, fuck you," and I'll look at the System 11, I'll be like, "Fuck you too," and then that's normally what happens. So, but the second F14 I did overcome its issues. Uh, I did buy it with some issues. However, I did sell it, and it was in complete working condition. The first one, not so much, but that's okay. All right. So, anything else? So, what about Golden Tea? I don't remember if we mentioned that or not.
You might have. Golden Tea's gone. That because I think we did last show because that's when I then came to your house and we talked about
Oh, yeah, probably. Well,
your.
listeners, if you didn't catch it last episode, Golden Tea is gone.
Yes, Golden Tea is gone. And what else? I delivered it to some warehouse in the middle of nowhere. I was a little freaked out,
I
but
don't want to hear it. I don't want to fucking hear it. You went
hey,
during the day. You went during the day. There was sunlight out.
now we're even.
Mm, I don't know
Hey,
if we're even.
Golden Tea's heavier as well. It was kind of a pain in the butt.
Okay.
I have a belly kiss for a friend, and I'm going through that. I actually, on the phone with you today, booted it up and tested it. It had a very funny electronic smell, but there's no smoke, no burning, except for the scorch mark that is on the driver behind the driver board on the metal. But I took the driver board out, and there's not a burn mark on the board. So I'll clean that up. I have a new MP unit. I'm going to clean some battery. What do they call it? The alkaline has dripped down onto the lamp driver board. Just a tad on the back of some of the transistors. So I'll clean that board, and then I'll try to repair the MPU for fun. But I have a new MPU board in it from Weebly, so I'll just see if that works. But I ordered the LED adapter so that it doesn't flicker like crazy, and then I'm still waiting on pins for the .1 size Molex connectors, and I can repin the rest of that. Otherwise, all the 156 stuff is repinned and done. And the displays have these little burn dots, which then eliminate that segment. It's driving me bonkers enough where I think I'll buy the Wolfpack display kit, where it's a do-it-yourself. You get all the parts and PCBs, you solder it all together yourself. I did those for Galaxy in red, and I think I'll order them in orange for this Bally Kiss.
Yeah, you should.
But then, like, I have new pop caps and new rubbers, and the drop targets are the old, like, worn out, and that's driving me bananas looking at the playfield. But I don't know if I should care.
I don't think you should care in this
Oh,
instance.
I
This is
know.
for a friend. We need to preface that. So, like, yeah. So, I think it's going to play just fine with the worn down drop targets.
Well, it's the paint that's worn, like not the tops. It's just the it's like a bullet uh
Yeah.
target.
Yep.
That's just gone off all of them.
That's fine.
It's driving me crazy.
Just
If it
get
was
some decals. Charlie will love you forever if you do.
if it was my game, I would be on the hunt for a new playfield, new plastics, all that jazz. Like I go stupid. But to Ryan's point, I'm trying not to. I've already spent too much money. That's what I'm good at.
He's
What
in the
else?
business of losing money,
Oh, I
listeners.
love losing money. I pay money to lose money.
He
After
does. I've seen it.
after Bally Kiss is gone and Swords of Fury is gone, I can start poking at the skill roll.
Mm, maybe. You might have something else you got to poke at a little bit.
Yeah, but I won't have that all for 2 weeks.
No, no. Yeah. It'd be cool if you could get skill roll working because you'll get bored of it then and then you'll sell it. That's what I'm really banking on here.
Yeah, somebody's doing the coin acceptor in metal, and I've been pondering if it's worth the price, and I just can't. I can't fully justify it yet. It depends on which price they quote me. So we'll see. Otherwise, yeah, in my game room, and my kids. I'll put a stool in front of it. My kids can just drop nickels in. I could slowly make millions off my neighbors' children
Mm-hmm.
because there's no
Yeah.
free play. You have to put a quarter in or a nickel.
Well, let me know how that works out for you.
um, I do have the hot glue gun for Sparky's little cap EL wire, and I got those drop target repair things for Ghostbusters I got to put in. So I got a couple things left to do. Otherwise, my big project that just popped up tonight is your update.
Yeah. So I guess I have a little bit of a game room update. Um, Nothing crazy, It's not like I got a game or oh wait, I did. So listeners, I now am in possession of Rick and Morty Bloodsuckers Edition 558. It arrived here Thursday last week. And it was kind of unfortunate because it ended up getting here. We set it up, we put a few games on it, and then the next day, Friday, we packed up and went camping. So that was super cool. So then I really wasn't able to play it until we got back Sunday, but I've obviously been playing the shit out of it since. And my God, is it a ton of fun? If you don't like the game or the show, I don't think you'll absolutely fall head over heels for the game. I still think that the game has a lot of merit because it is so unique. But if you like the show or you love the show, man, boy howdy, you son of a bitch, I'm in because it's great. Um, so I do have that. I've absolutely been loving it. Zero regrets in selling Black Knight, who did leave my basement, and now Rick and Morty has replaced it. Um, I have not gotten around to, but I really need to rebuild the Slimer mech in my Ghostbusters because all Ghostbusters seem to need some amount of work to them. So my Slimer mech and my Slimer motor sounds like a 3-year-old playing two notes on a recorder when he goes up and down. It's
Ooh,
pretty interesting.
it's very loud.
It sounds kind of like a car backing up. It's like just over and over and over, and it's just like Slimer, shut the fuck up! Like I'm done. And he doesn't register well, so then he's just constantly making this weird noise in the background. It's super cool. So I got a new motor assembly arm, like the arm and the motor. That needs to be replaced, and then I just need to rebuild the whole Slimer mech because I bought all the parts but didn't buy the complete assembled one because it was like half the price. So I got to figure that out, but that shouldn't be too bad. I'll just keep track of how the one that's broken was put together and swap it out. Um, Other game room updates. I think I'm getting closer to the point where Terminator 3 needs to get a shop job because he's playing like hot dog shit. So I think that's coming up here soon. Going to throw some super bands on him, and presumably he will never need another set of rubbers for the remainder of his life. Uh, you know,
Is there
God
even that
willing.
many rubbers on Rick and Morty?
On Rick and Morty,
Wait, which game are you talking about?
Terminator 2.
Um,
Just going over
you don't
like
have Terminator 2.
Terminator 3. Jesus Christ.
There's not that many rubbers on T3 though, right? There's a
Well, I'm telling you right now, the
more.
the slings need new rubbers, and they need at minimum new sleeves.
I was gonna say there's probably more sleeves on that, right? Because it's very fan,
hmm
like tons of shots.
Yeah. No, there's not a ton of rubber. I'm sure there's going to be some that are going to be a total bitch to get to because there's only like 5 layers of things um, in between the top of the playfield and you know ultimately underneath the glass. But yeah, that needs a shop job. My P3 is running amazing. Absolutely loving the new heist code. Um, can't say enough good things about it. I absolutely think that they knocked it out of the park, and I can't believe that they added so much more to the game. that I already considered to be more or less complete. So I think that that's really, 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 really awesome. Um, Other than that, I guess those are like my big game room updates. I'm not going to get too much into Rick and Morty tonight because Parnell's coming down tomorrow to play it for the first time ever. He's never played one, and
Ever, ever.
we'll probably do like a full review episode where we just kind of gush and talk about it because Parnell watches Rick and Morty as well, so I think he'll get a kick out of a lot of it.
Yeah, I think we could do like a full episode on it,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
and then you could kind of talk about that because I don't. Did you play it before the code update? Like before you updated it?
No,
Okay,
I
so you
was
just
instructed by someone who will remain nameless to do a few things to it. The first thing that I was instructed to do is swap out the default flipper return springs, which I think are dual springs.
oh weird.
Yeah, it's like a spring inside of a spring. It's some crazy shit. I was instructed to take those out and replace them with WPC era flipper return springs, which I did. And I was instructed to immediately update the code to the beta version. I have not updated to the newest version that dropped yesterday, which is official, and they supposedly continue to resolve some of the flipper related issues that the game has, some people have seen. I also adjusted the end of stroke switches. There's definitely been some adjusting that I've been doing with the game, but yeah, it's not a huge deal. I think, I mean, I've bought enough new inbox pinball machines to know that there's potentially going to be some stuff you got to adjust out of the box. And yeah, no, otherwise it's been really great. So, but we'll get to talk about that next episode. I really want to get into the juicy details of tonight and what me and Parnell were victory lap celebrating at 11 o'clock at night as Parnell cracks open a cold one with your boy, which is
Yeah.
Parnell. Why don't you say it? Because you got to see the outside experience this time. You got to live through me but not be me as I went down the scariest fucking dirt road in the middle of nowhere as I'm driving by farms, as I'm talking to you on the phone, and I'm like, this is some like Silence of the Lambs shit.
It was funny because I've been in that position a couple times, and it's very exciting. It's like the addicting why you do this kind of thing. But
Oh yeah,
and
no, tonight was absolutely this is why
your
we
heart's
do
racing.
what we do.
Yeah. So I'm sitting in my kitchen talking to my wife about the dry bar in the basement because we're kind of once these two games are gone, we were like, oh, maybe we should get it in. And so we were having this deep discussion, and I get my phone starts ringing, and I look at my watch, and there's Ryan, and I was like, well, I'll talk to him in a little bit. And then I hit end call, and he calls me again, and I
So
was
hold
like,
on.
yeah,
He ended the first call. I knew he declined it because it rang like once
yeah, it was
and
very
then it
quick.
went to voicemail. Parnell was on top of that shit, declining my call. I yelled at my phone as Chelsea was watching me do this, and I was like, "You motherfucker, you pick up right now!" And I immediately called him back. What'd you do, Parnell?
I denied the next one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What did you make me do? Besides Facebook message you and bomb your phone, I had to text him too
Oh yeah, you
because
text me.
Facebook Messenger wasn't good enough. What did I text you, Parnell?
Call me immediately.
Why did you need to call me immediately?
Okay, so I finally tried to call him, and it wouldn't. My phone just kept 10, 20 seconds. It just sat at like trying to call Ryan, and I'm going, this is messed up. Like, if Ryan's in danger, his phone's broken. And so I text him back, and I was like, I can't get a hold of you. And then I think finally my phone came through or something, and you texted me a picture of some crazy deal.
Yep. So tonight I was blessed by a friend who is the fastest finder in the West for anything Laserdisc related. I think I've talked about it just a bit, and I'm not going to get too deep into it. But listeners, if you don't know what a laserdisc is, it's the best fucking medium in the entire world, because they are like 13-inch DVDs that have data on both sides of them. It's audio and video, and you feed it into this huge thing. It's just like a massive CD, and it's movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And then I think in 2000, the second half of 2000 is when they stopped making. I think that was the last pressings of discs. But anyways, he messages me and he says, "Hey, I think I remember talking to you um, about pinballs, and I found this one. I don't know if you're interested, but here you go." He just sent the link forward to me. So I end up checking the link that he sent me, and it was a Joker poker at a really good deal. And immediately I'm like trying to call Parnell, panicking because I messaged the guy and he messages me back. And he's like, "Hey man, yeah, it's still for sale. I just posted it up." I'm like, I'm like,
I need to
okay.
get to you before the entire Minnesota pinball world does.
I was like, "Can you mark this sold? Because like I 100% want this." He's like, "Yeah, you know, I'll probably mark it sold when you come get it." And I'm like, "Can you mark it sold now? Because I'll come get it. Like I'll PayPal you money." He's like, "No PayPal, no Cash App." He's like, "I want cash." And I'm like, "Fuck. Okay." Now, mind you, it's like 8:30 at night right now. By the way,
Uh, yeah, this gets a little difficult when you're trying to. If you don't have a stash of cash at home, this is where it gets a little hard to make sure you have
this
it.
this gets dicey. Now, the saving grace is this guy was like 20 minutes away from me. I mean, it was not in my backyard, but it was right next to my backyard. And so I messaged him back. I'm like, "Okay, I'll pay you what you're asking. Like, can I come out?" He's like, I asked if I could come out tomorrow. And he like read it, and then he took a really long time to respond. And he messages me back. He's like, "Holy shit." He's like, this must be a good deal." He's like, "Because I've just had about 70 people message me all asking if they could come get it, or if it was still available." He's like, "So if you want it, it's yours. Come get it. But I want you to come get it tonight." I'm like, "Fuck. Okay." So I hop in the new vehicle I got. I got a new Jeep, everyone. The Kia is gone. Rest in peace. It's on to greener pastures where someone will presumably not do the awful things that I did to it, like haul pinballs around using a trailer because I installed a trailer hitch on a Kia Stinger. So now I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee. And pinballs just fit right in the back. It's the damnedest thing. So I hop in my Jeep and I immediately, I'm flying over there. I get there and I'm talking to Parnell the whole time. Like, "Okay, I think, we got this, we got that we're going to need to do." He claims it works. And of course, just like every pinball deal, you get there and damn it, wouldn't you know it, it's not working right now. So I look it over and I'm like, "All right, well, you know, it, this is too good of a deal for me to even haggle. Like, here's the money. Let's just break it down." So, in my garage right now, I have a Joker poker. It's not the EM or electromechanical. It is the solid state. So, it has computer boards in it. It's not as uh, valuable, I guess, or collectible, whatever, because they're the electromechanicals are the ones without computers in them. They're a lot more rare, but we have a solid state one, and it's actually, I mean, Parnell, I don't know what would you rank it? What's kind of your ranking? Give me 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10 for back glass, 1 out of 10 for cabinet, playfield. Give me just the rough stuff. What are you thinking?
It's one of the top system ones, some Gottlieb system one. I don't know what that means per se, and the back glass looks like a bunch of female jokers that are smoking weed, but it supposedly has some of the best gameplay from the Gottlieb System 1 era. It's Joker Poker, Countdown, and Sinbad that are the kind of the thought of as the top couple games, and this one's valued pretty high. So as long as you can get it working, uh, however, you just have to deal with the System One electronics.
Mm, yep. He says it works.
That's what he told you.
That's what he told me. He
Good.
said, "I'm sure it works." He's like, "I'm sure it's gonna be something easy."
Uh huh. So, so he's like the normal, non-pinball person selling a game on Craigslist.
Yeah. Needless to say, I think it's gonna take a little bit of work.
Yeah.
And flipper rubbers, man, where we're going, well, shit. Rubbers in a pinball machine? We don't need those. Not here. We got rocks. I was looking at the rubbers on it, and man, these things are cooked. And then they just continue to use them. So it's going to be fun to take that. I mean, I can only imagine how old the rubber is and get that off there and get some nice rubbers on there. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, you sent me a picture and it was odd because I didn't see any rubber, but they were white flipper rubbers, which I don't think they've made for a long time. If they're even real flipper rubber.
It's a Gottlieb, so really it could just be some fucking toothpaste squirted on there and hardened. Like nothing would surprise me at this
Yeah,
point.
and they like the rounded corners or whatever you call it. They're pretty cracked. They must be solid rock.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think the other like really kind of comical part of it was as we're tearing it down. So listeners, pinball machines have legs. That is one for every corner. There's four in total. Um, they have two bolts that screw into a plate on the inside of the wooden cabinet that is used to attach and hold those legs there. I don't think this game has any of those inside of it. And if they are, and I think they actually are, they're all stripped out or drilled out. I couldn't tell you which. So um, disassembling this thing was a lot more difficult than it should have been because it's gonna need some work. I think we already have a laundry list of things that it's gonna need. It needs new plastics. It needs new leg hardware, like completely. Uh, I think we're gonna be able to shine up the legs though, so that's a win, solid win. And the pop bumper plastics, man, minty. But
Yeah, I you sent.
I think it's pretty good.
I'll be there tomorrow, 99% sure, and then we'll go over my list I'm making. But from the pictures you sent me, it looks like it's a lot of just
It's a
uh
lot of little things.
yeah, and
That
we got to
shit adds
do
up though.
the wiring. Like some of the connectors were cut, and then the wires were just soldered right onto the board. I think they call it the finger or whatever.
Hey man, you want to know something?
Oh,
You don't
what?
have to fucking repin it if you solder it directly to the board.
Nope, you don't.
And thank God, whoever decided to do this rig of a job, they had a single moment where the heavens parted and a single ray of light shined down on their otherwise gloomy existence. Because I don't know who the fuck would do this, but they put a connector there because otherwise I would have had to have dumped one of the game boards, like the internal CPU boards, like the brain boards, into the bottom of the game, which is not where they're supposed to go during transportation. So you could still disconnect all the wires and take the head off because this is an old enough machine. It does not fold down like the newer ones for easy transport. The head is a separate piece that must be removed completely from the game. So yeah, yeah, there was some interesting stuff in there.
Instead of redoing the edge connector, like what I obviously with the internet now and knowing that similar to a system one, similar to a Bally or Stern, you just should repin everything just because. those things kind of wear out and then they freak other stuff out. So instead of repinning the edge connector or getting a new connector, they just soldered it direct, like cut it off, soldered it right on, and then they added a Molex to what Ryan was saying, like in line to the wires going to the cabinet. Like what? You j- you did the same thing but different. You made more work because now you have to like cut and then crimp both ends and get a new plug on each end. It's like, man, this seems like more work.
There was some. I'm sure that they thought when they did this, they were being really fucking smart.
Oh,
Like,
super smart.
I'm sure they thought this was big brain, like dump truck, big brain, brain waves they were having here. Because they're like, if there isn't a fucking connector, I'm gonna always have a solid connection. But then they added a connector right below that's some shoddy fucking connector that looks like something out of like the automotive department. It's like, oh my god. Like he just moved the problem from like here down to here.
Oh man.
So that'll be fun to fix. That's
Yeah.
a Parnell issue. So you guys remember how I said, skill roll is gonna have to wait a little bit. He's gonna be the one to repin it because he's I believe, oh shit, I forget the term. He gets off on being, in extreme pain and doing like awful things. So
Misogynistic. No, no, that's the bad.
yep. Is it a sadist?
Yeah, yeah, dang it.
I don't know. Whatever. Uh, I'm not all about words right now. But anyways, he's gonna do that stuff because fuck that. Like but anyways, so yeah, we're eventually, maybe tomorrow, like maybe we'll get it flipping tomorrow. Maybe this guy wasn't blowing smoke up our ass. It's gonna be an easy fix, Parnell. Easy.
Uh sure. I am bringing a bunch of gear down. I got all my pinning stuff and pins, so we'll be able to redo. I should have enough pins, so we should be able to
Well,
redo
especially
all the
since we have a
pins.
few connectors that don't even have pins anymore.
And I can't do that one yet because we'll need to get a new edge connector.
But we're gonna hope that that connector's good enough for right now to at least get the game flipping.
Yeah, it's solder direct on, so like we should be good until we get the connector. But we'll do all the other ones and the displays. It's gonna be a couple hours of hell, but I got some like fuse blocks to add to the small transformer for protection. Um,
It's all right, buddy. At least you don't have to do the fucking drop targets. So the
oh
funny
yeah,
thing about this, listeners, is how me and Parnell actually like physically met. Because we had been friends like through Facebook for, I don't know, probably a while before we actually like really started talking about pinball. Because Parnell was like very rarely ever on Facebook. And so it was really hard if I like messaged him. I mean, like sometimes I wouldn't hear from this motherfucker for like 2 weeks. And
I
then all
was
of a sudden
never
he'd
on
just randomly
Messenger.
be like, "Oh hey, how's it going? I'm Parnell. I have a skill roll that's still broken in my basement." So at some point though, we started talking, and I was like, "Hey man, do you have any games for sale? I'm itching to get some new games in my basement." And he said, "You know what? I do have some games I was thinking about selling. I hadn't posted them yet. So I bought from you a Baywatch that was re-imported. It was honestly in pretty good shape. I mean, it had a little bit of shark wear, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's to be expected from that machine. Um, and then the other game, oh man, I'm having a hard time. Do you remember what game that was? What was the other game I bought from you?
Sounds about the same as today. It
Yeah, I
rhymes
bought a
with
Joker poker from
yeah,
Parnell.
rhymes with Joker poker.
And something, it was broken when he gave it to me, and uh, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I rebuilt those drop targets. Fuck those drop targets. They're a bitch to replace, but I rebuilt them, and I couldn't get the goddamn game to work because the small transformer. I'm not joking, you guys. Uh, the moment I turned the game on, it was just like shooting smoke out of the small transformer, and you could hear this sizzling noise of just electricity just like gnawing it away at something it wasn't supposed to be. So um yeah, that ended up not working out. And I had to bow out, as Parnell did. And it went on to greener pastures. And God, I hope it's still around, like in its entirety. I hope the guy didn't just like take bits and pieces out of it and just burn the rest of it. But uh, I don't even know where it went exactly. But that one left. And now, sure shit, here me and Parnell are with another one.
Luckily, this small transformer works, so we're off to a good start.
Question mark.
One of the good things is that everything is, well, it's not fully working, but like everything comes up. So while there's issues, I think we'll be able to fix stuff. Like worst case, we have to kind of start doing some board stuff, and at that point, I don't know what we're gonna do, but it's one of those. Do we just take the hit and get an all in one, or do we try to replace some boards or what? But
I think we'll just go all in one if it comes to that.
yeah,
I'm not
I
fucking dicking with this thing any longer than we have to.
I have a power supply board somewhere. I might have put it in my box of boards, the new boards. So I got to go look at that tomorrow morning. It's under my bed.
You sleep with pinball parts underneath your bed.
Uh huh.
That's the
Yep.
sign of a real pinball enthusiast right
Yeah,
there, everyone.
that's where they're safe. And so I gotta write my note, but I'll grab that, and I have a couple other like driver board. I have the Lissy One MPU board, which runs with a Raspberry Pi, and so I'll bring that, and so we can try to test stuff. But it sounds like it's like mostly there. We just gotta.
It's trying.
But that's the thing with like Steve's roller disco. It was like all there, but one thing. I was just like, what the hell? So
Yeah, well, it wouldn't coin up. So I didn't get to play that at all.
yeah, and you sent me a picture, and the coin shoot mech switch, I
Oh,
should say.
God.
The switch was just the two wires were just together,
Soldered together.
and I was like, how you you can't just solder wires together and like expect free play. That's not how this works. Um,
Yeah, no. We're going to have some fun with that one, that's for sure.
yeah, that'll be we'll be going over that, and then
It's going to
trying to
go on to
sell
a greener
that.
pasture, too.
Yeah, and
Eventually. Probably after we've sunk an all in one board in it, new plastics, all new leg hardware. Oh, God, I hope I don't have to rebuild the flippers. That'll be a you project. I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm not fucking touching those flippers.
the flippers do have, what do you call those things? Those little
Rivets.
roll pins.
Oh, yeah, roll pins. Excuse me.
I have to do those on my play ball too, so I'll
Oh, cool. So
probably
you'll get practice.
I'll probably put that on my list on things to buy from the pinball resource.
Yeah. They're going to love us.
I've already put a couple orders in because of Bally Kiss, so they will really love me when I put this third order in the week.
Marco fucking knows my name.
That's because you call them all the time
Like,
trying to get your super bands.
yeah, well, no, they knew my name before I ordered, before I called in and told them about the super bands, because apparently I order a lot of shit through them. Weirdly. Oh my god, you guys, we're really having a victory lap tonight. 11:41. He's cracking open
Oh,
another cold one with the boy.
I can't put it away. That might have been a mistake.
It'll be a mistake for another day to deal with. Tomorrow, actually.
Yeah.
Luckily, you don't have to head down here till like 10 a.m. So we'll be pretty chill. Um, yeah, I'm super excited to get a fucking Joker Poker, maybe playing. Like, you guys have no idea. I bought the game thinking it looked kind of fun and maybe I'd have one in my basement. from Parnell, and it has chimes. So I was like, fuck yeah, like some of the most awesome stuff from electromechanical, but hopefully with less of the bullshit from electromechanical.
And
Because,
tons of drop targets.
oh yeah, oh, those fucking drop targets. There's like 15 of them. There's so many, and there's such a pain in the ass to swap out. Um, but yeah, I am excited to hopefully get that up and running and playing because I think it'll be a lot of fun to at least play it. I wish it had a spinner. God, do I wish it had a spinner, but
There's no spinner?
no.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. They just gave you drop targets for days. But no, super excited about that. So I'm positive we're gonna have updates on that. I'll probably get done with my half of the work in like 2 days. Because normally when I get like parts for everything, minus Ghostbusters, I like immediately hit it. I have been not dreading working on Ghostbusters, but it has the old not service rail leg bullshit of Gary Stern trying to cut corners and costs where he can, and fuck, I hate those legs. So I just haven't been super excited to get underneath it. But yeah,
That's
got
what
a
a
got a
broom
Joker
handle's
poker
for.
tonight, huh?
That's what a broom handle's for.
That's true.
That's what's holding up Bally Kiss right now.
Yeah, well, weirdly, I don't want to stick a broom handle underneath my Ghostbusters.
No, I mean, it's mostly safe.
Well, for a Bally Kiss, there's only like 8 things underneath it, anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. Ghostbusters, there's node boards everywhere and coils galore. Ugh,
Yeah,
gives me a headache just thinking about it.
just be careful where you put that broom.
It's all right. Right now, I have Joker Poker's head tilted in the garage, so maybe I'll wake up in the morning and we'll be missing back glass. One more thing to add to the list.
Oh boy.
Yep. But no, I'm super excited about the project that me and Parnell were able to pick up, and we're going to get to both kind of work on together to get this thing hopefully up and running. That's the goal. I'd really like to get a Joker Poker in my house and in mine and your possessions. And when it leaves our possessions, it works. That'd be a pretty big achievement for the both of us because
It'd be a first.
it would be for Joker Poker. That one eluded us last time because those small transformers, when they go, good luck finding a replacement because apparently that's a really hot item to break. Besides everything else that has Gottlieb stamped on it.
Um, yes. I spoke to a transformer manufacturer and I was about to ship out a small transformer to them, but then after doing some kind of poking around, it seemed like, excuse me, the market really wasn't there for it.
I mean, it's there, but it isn't.
It's
Yeah.
like people want them, but they don't want to pay because it was easily going to be 200 to 300 because of like how much copper is wound in it and how much time and effort is needed to remake them. And it's like I'm not can't buy 5,000 of these things, and who's going to
Right.
sell them? Plus they're heavy, so there's all this, and I think his estimate was about 250 a piece if I ordered 50. So it was like, this doesn't seem worth it. It's probably better to find a way to build your game without one, which is possible. Someone finally did it. So,
Yeah. Well, hopefully we won't be the fucking second. That's all I have to
well,
say.
it works, and I have there's a fuse mod to add 2 fuses to the small transformer so that it should stop any like solenoid lock on burning out the displays burning out the transformer. So
How exciting. You bringing that tomorrow too?
well, I got the fuse blocks. Do you have any wire? I should bring my wire
No,
then.
I don't have any wire.
You don't have anything. I'm gonna bring all my stuff. It's gonna be like two
Just bring your
trucks.
cordless drill too.
Christ.
Just bring it all, buddy. But yeah, so Parnell, I guess let's go back to a topic I want to talk about a little bit. So you kind of glossed over it a little bit. So you're gonna get a P3.
Oh boy, yes. And
How fucking excited are you?
I am excited, and I'm also nervous
Okay.
because change is scary. Although
Yep.
I'm now converting money to a P3. But if you if if you look at it on paper, it's a very expensive pinball machine.
Right.
And in theory, it'll be the most expensive one I've ever bought
Yep.
at one time.
Yeah.
um,
No, for sure.
but I'm also very excited because of all the games and playfields you can buy. And Nick Baldridge has a new game coming out for the Heist playfield, as I will most likely be able to buy the Heist P3 system first.
Hell yeah. So you're gonna be running some heists, huh?
Yeah, and that's the next hard part is then what do you like? I save up again to buy another playfield, and which one do you get next? Because there's Ranger in the Ruins, which is ultra addicting, or in theory they have another game coming. So,
You
and
do.
then there's
I hope.
two more
Uh,
coming out, or two more old ones, Lexi and Cannon Lagoon.
yeah. Well, and I hope that Jerry is eventually able to come onto the show and talk about the next game when he's ready to announce it. I think that'd be pretty great because I've got some pretty exciting news here. Just between me and Parnell, um, apparently a bunch of the guys over at Multimorphic listen to our podcast, and that is just super cool. So, hi to everyone that's listening from Multimorphic. Thank you guys so much for everything you do, and we are super excited to both soon own a P3, and I can't wait for Parnell to get his Cosmic Kart Racing module so we can play online together. Because OMG, that's going to be amazing. I'll get to kick Parnell's ass without even being next to him. I'm so excited.
Well, and if this Ryan in Wisconsin ends up getting one, because I told him to go play one, and he said that some local collector had one, and I even said watching streams doesn't fully do it. You literally have to play the Heist and Ranger in the Ruins and like Cosmic Card Online yourself.
Yep.
Then you get it. And so he said he would go try it out. I don't know when he will do it, when people feel safe or when that person has time. I did tell him to let us know when, so we can talk to him after.
Oh yeah, that'd be great to have him on and hear someone that's never played a P3 before come on and kind of talk about that.
Yeah, because I'm assuming he had similar concerns to the general populace before they bought or played one, which is
Yeah.
similar to what that person I told you to talk to also said.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be on a podcast next week actually talking about the P3 because there's another podcast. Parnell knows the name of it. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
It's called Just Another Pinball Podcast, and the guy's name is Joel. And
Yep.
I was listening to his latest episode, and all of a sudden he's just talking about P3, and I was like, I'm gonna write in, and then I forgot because I was driving. But I messaged you immediately, and I said, "Fucking contact this dude. You need to talk to him. He has similar questions to what I actually said, or everybody else." And honestly, since he's at least interested, he just needs to play it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about the P3 just because it is so different. Um, and I mean, I think everyone has their own thoughts about what something's going to be before they really play it. And I know that you even had reservations before you had played it for the first time, where you were like, well, I wonder how the flippers are going to feel. I wonder how the game's going to shoot. And obviously, you loved it because you're saving up right now to buy one. So I'm nothing but super excited for you to get a P3, and for more of our listeners to hopefully get the opportunity to play a P3, whether it's mine or Parnell's if you're local enough, or at wherever one might be local to you. You can definitely check Pinside to see if there are any that are close to you. Obviously be nice when you reach out, but see if they're willing. And I can tell you right now that the owners of P3s, all of them that I have dealt with, are extremely nice people, just like the individuals that work at Multimorphic. Um, and I can tell you that I'm sure that if you asked nicely and things were set up correctly as far as for safety and everything else, these individuals would be more than happy to share these experiences with you that you're going to get that you won't get on any other pinball machine. So
I have joined the Discord for Multimorphic P3 and the Slack. I'm not on Slack much because I'm on Discord for everything else, but it is, if you think about the positive community of pinball people, that is P3. Like, it is a very inviting, welcoming, warm, positive environment slash community, and that is why I'm really loving it. It's I oh, it is a lot different than just the standard kind of pin side slash people being crazy. So
it really is.
it's a refreshing experience because you get sick of that stuff, and it's just fun to have a more positive experience.
Yep. No, definitely some of the best people that I know in pinball are in that P3 Discord group, and are P3 owners and people that work on the P3, like without a doubt. So, um, but yeah, I'm very excited for you to get your heist P3 soon.
Well,
We're getting
I'm
pretty
scared.
close.
I'm
Getting
scared.
pretty close.
I almost today messaged Jerry and said, "Hey, you gonna have a P3 ready to ship in a little bit? Let's get a quote ready." And I didn't. 'Cause I was like, "Well, let's just wait." And then you said this tonight, and I was like, "Wow, I should have messaged Jerry. I guess so it's gonna be closer than I expected."
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility that that could be happening sooner than maybe you had initially planned if things go according to plan for us.
Yeah,
So
and then I'm also a little worried of like if their next game drops, do I don't know, like do I get that's the thing is if it comes out within a month, like do I obviously, I'll watch gameplay footage, but like do you get that? Do you get the
I
heist
think
because
I'd
it's
still get
known?
Heist because Heist has completely, absolutely, unequivocally won me over. Like I I really am in love with everything that um, Steven
Hmm.
did. I'm not great with names, Steven, so don't take that personally. I know SJ Silver. I know that really well. That immediately popped into my head, and I was like, wait, that's not his name. um, but Steven and Jerry and everyone on the team that worked on Heist, I think absolutely knocked it out of the park. And um, I totally think that it is the module to own for the P3. I think there are a ton of experiences, and I feel almost sad saying that because I do really love Cosmic Kart Racing, and I cannot stress enough how much fun it is to play Cosmic Kart Racing multiplayer. And Chelsea would tell you that her favorite module is tied between Heist and Lexi Lightspeed. So everyone kind of has their own opinions and their own experiences that they find are like the most exciting and enjoyable for them. But that's what really makes the P3 great is there are all of those different experiences. But I can tell you right now, I don't think that there's going to be a single person that can't argue, regardless of whether they're team Cosmic Kart Racing or Team Lexi before Heist came out. Even if they're diehard fans that are going to be buried with one of those two modules, I think Heist is going to be right there on the other side of them either way. So
Well, and the game plan is to own everything. I think Nick Baldridge has everything, and there's at least one game on every module that I think is worth it.
Oh, I totally agree. If I could quit buying other shit that isn't pinball related, I would be a lot closer to owning everything as well. Well, and I did buy Rick and Morty, I guess, but I'm
The
not
cool
sorry for
thing
that.
is that even with me having a family and kids, um, I have a very small, every paycheck I set aside a little bit of money for pinball. What that means is every year I could buy a new playfield. But if they were the cheaper playfields like Cannon Lagoon, I could buy, two a year, no problem. So that's exciting as well because I think my pinball room is out of space. So I won't be buying any more games once this comes. I think I'll be kind of, maybe if it's like a project, couple $100 game, kind of like what happened on some of my older System 1 Gottliebs or Craigslist finds or what happened tonight. But I won't be buying any more like big titles anymore. Like this P3 will be it, and then it'll be nice to just get playfields and start stacking small cardboard boxes everywhere of playfields.
Yeah, I mean that, or if you're a really rich, you go get some 2x4s, which fuck spending whatever a 2x4 is these days. But you can, I think Kevin at Buffalo Pinball, or maybe it's Nick Baldrich, I forget who, but somebody made plans and shared the exact cuts and plans you need to make a really bitchin' like wood holder for your P3 modules to sit underneath a pinball machine. And I think as long as you don't add wheels to it, they'll fit underneath any pinball machine, which is super cool. So you can have multiple machines with playfield modules underneath them. So, or alternatively, like me right now, because me and wood don't get along. Like I've just come to accept this. I have many amazing talents in life. Woodworking is not one of them. My arcade cabinet downstairs that I hand built with no blueprints I got offline, just freeballing it, is a testament to that. Rough edges everywhere. If it was a house, the listing would read needs lipstick. That's for sure. So for now, I just have cardboard boxes that are labeled with each game that the playfields sit in. And if I needed to send one of them in for some type of issue that I had that I couldn't figure out myself, the convenient thing is they're already in the cardboard box that they're shipped to you in. You just ship it back to Multimorphic, and they can help you work through anything you can't figure out yourself.
I think this is going to turn into a P3 podcast, isn't it?
I mean, I think we're also going to talk about things. We're going to talk about things like the Mandalorian, and I think until Deeproot implodes on itself, we'll obviously get to talk about them and
The crap show that is at
the
Deep Root.
shit show that is going on over there right now. And let me stress this: if anyone that's listening works for Deeproot, I'm so sorry. I'm not mad at you. I'm not even disappointed in you. I'm just sorry. I really am. I've spoken to someone who has spoken to someone, so it's a tiny bit of telephone as far as for like some of the working conditions there, and I'm so sorry. Like not knowing if you're going to get a paycheck from week to week, that's really tough. But kudos to you guys that are sticking it out there to at least try to make a game come out. Um, but like it's been said, I think a lot of people are rooting against them, and I really hope that they are able to come out with a game, and I hope that they're successful, but it's not sounding like it's going to happen. And that's really unfortunate because I know there's a bunch of people that have poured a shitload of time into this title.
Well, the Pinball Brothers are shipping a game that's broken, and I don't know, people still want to buy it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we will. That's a good point. I mean, I guess we can quickly talk about Man, did you see that Guns N' Roses collector's edition on Facebook today?
with the post issues. Oof.
I'd be pissed as shit if I just spent $12,500, if not more, because he could have bought it from someone that had gotten the spot and then sold it to him.
Sure.
I mean, fuck, he could
So
have spent $15,000 or more on it, on
yeah,
that machine.
12,000 and up.
Yep, 12,000 and up machine gets to you less than 200 plays. You got like literally quarter size parts of the playfield art ripping off of the wood. Oh my god. It's heartbreaking. I feel bad for him. And the worst part about it is Jersey Jack no longer offers playfield replacements for when they have playfield issues. Instead, what they tell you is at the end of the run, you are allowed to, if you can prove that there's an issue, they will sell you a new playfield that's unpopulated at cost.
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard.
Which is fucked because that means that Stern's going to be implementing that. Because if Gary can save money somewhere, you bet your ass he's going to save money somewhere. And if he can stop warranting out playfields and instead charging people for cost for them, yeah, yeah, he's going to be charging for them.
um, that was my fear when they did that for Stern.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but uh,
A $12,000 game. Oh my god.
it really came down to yeah, they need to figure their shit out or help people out. I mean, they really don't want to, right? I mean, this is not the first game that's been pirates. What the game started it? Was it? It wasn't Hobbit, was it? Was it Dialed In or
Shit, they
Wonka?
had issues with Wizard of Oz. I mean, not as many,
Oh, that's right. The
but
first runs like had chunks of paint between the photos
yeah.
coming up.
I mean, pick a game, buddy. I'm going to give you a dartboard that's the
S-
size of the wall.
So were they using Mirko back then too? Have they
I'm not
always used?
sure.
I wonder if they've always used.
I'm not sure. I know that dialed ins, people had been concerned about it, but then a lot of people said that, it all comes down to like hearsay, right? And you're
Mm,
gonna
yeah.
it's like automotive stuff. I don't know if listeners, if you're really into automotive, but man, you're gonna have those people that are like, man, I drive Ford or I die. And then you got the people that are like, Ford stands for fixed or repaired daily. I drive a Chevy. You get these people that are like brand specific for whatever reason, and that's fine. You're totally allowed to have your brand, but when it comes to pinball, not only are people brand specific, but then there's like different like thought processes that go into like how to fix something or how something is like resolved. And you'll talk to people that'll say, or you'll read people because you won't talk to them, but you'll read them talking about, well, the reason these playfields are having issues is because they aren't letting them sit long enough. They need to, minimum 3 months or minimum 6 months. They just need to sit. It needs the cure time.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear people say, "Oh no, it's actually just these clear polycarbonate washers that need to be installed underneath all of it." And then, you hear guys from the Stern side that'll say, "No, you just can't have any art underneath your posts, and you can't over tighten them, like presumably what happened with this Guns N' Roses collector's edition, based on the damage and how it's damaged because it's in a twisting." Way. It's not just like a pooling issue. Like the art is like literally twisted around in about the size of a quarter in a few different places. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that you have to be very careful of, and it is possible that they aren't giving the playfields, maybe the few days or week that they really need to cure for. Um, I can't say for sure, right? I mean, I know in automotive, you don't clear coat a car and let it sit for 6 months. And then you're like, well, now we can sell it. Now it's good. Realistically, they throw it in an oven and after they're done painting it, and that's when it cures like 95%. And then, probably a day or two or a few days later, it'll be cured more or less 100%. Um, but it's definitely very interesting. And I'm not trying to say that anybody's wrong or right. Um, but there's a lot of different ways that people are trying to explain that you can skin this cat of like playfield related issues. And it's really unfortunate because, at the end of the day, regardless of how you fix it, uh, the manufacturers, I think, are the ones that need to be held responsible for it. And they haven't come up with an actual solution. So I really wish we could get it figured out because
This
as much
is
as I'm not going to buy a bunch of new games that are coming out, it still really sucks to see that other people that are genuinely excited about games uh, getting shit on.
well, and this is where it's you gotta speak with your money. Everybody's getting sick of this problem, and so you gotta stop buying games. And you can't keep giving them money, then they don't care as much.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a double edged sword, right? Because there's plenty of operators that have to have the latest games because presumably those games almost pay for themselves, at least a quarter of themselves in like the first week of them being on route if they put them in the right place. So it's definitely catch 22 because it's like, well, I don't want to give them money, but I need to make money. So like, what do I do?
Hmm.
Um, it's just all around bad.
I guess this is more. It was more of like for the home buyer because there's so many new people in this hobby. They're just snapping up anything and everything, and it's like we've been dealing with this for a little while now, and
Yeah, I mean,
excuse me.
playfield issues aren't something new, and I mean, every manufacturer struggled with it.
Hmm.
They're still struggling with it, right? There's no clear person. I think maybe Haggis who literally puts a sheet of polycarbonate over the whole playfield or something like that. I mean, yes, then you won't have dimpling. The ball is physically not touching in any capacity the actual playfield. Like, yes, that is going to play perfectly because you've put uh, like literally another layer of something other than the playfield that the ball is touching.
Yeah, well,
Um,
wood. Yeah,
right. So yeah, I mean, it'd be it's interesting. I'm sure there's some solution. I don't think we're necessarily going to find it, and I don't think that these companies are going to be dumping, tens of thousands of dollars into R&D to try to push beyond whatever they currently are. So I think it's just going to continue to kind of be how it is.
I think people are going to start going toward the Haggis way of that polycarbonate hybrid playfield because like all the hard top from that outer edge, they do the hard top that you can like sand your playfield down and then put this hard top on, where the art is printed to the back side of the poly.
Yep.
I mean that's a very simple solution, and I kind of have a feeling that that's going to be the new way to do things. And
The new hotness.
I don't think it's a bad idea. It's just hopefully there's a way to buff the poly if there's scratches and stuff on it. I mean, if you have a ton of plays and people care about it, because like that clear coat is going to protect these old wood games, but there's still you still get those ball travel and the scratches and swirls and stuff. There'll always be somewhere, and I know on like the P3 that poly is replaceable because it covers a LCD screen, but on a normal playfield like Haggis, they secure it to the wood, so you're not just going to be able to replace it. But they've said that they've done ball movement tests and stuff, and it hasn't been a problem.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely see. I think that's another great point to P3, right? Because they too have that polycarbonate that's there, and not going to get any dimples on that, which is pretty rad. In fact, I'm willing to share this news. I don't know if I've convinced Parnell yet or not, but I will be bringing my P3 to a local convention this year for anyone in Minnesota or around Minnesota to experience at 2D Con this year. So, anyone that wants to come to a convention this August, is welcome to come to that. And the cool benefit about it is you'll get to see me and my stupid ass face as well as my P3. So that should be a lot of fun. And I'll have whatever playfield modules I have there. At the moment, I just have the 3, but maybe I'll have a 4th or even a 5th. Who knows? And I'll be swapping them out so people can play whatever they want to play. So those that are in the Minnesota Midwest area, if you haven't gotten a chance to play one yet and you're itching to go to a convention, I'll definitely have one there. And maybe Parnell will too. Maybe we can be dueling it up, having 2 heists, or 1 heist and 1 Lexi, or 1 heist and Cosmic Heart. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It sounds too heavy to drag around.
I'll come move it for you. Don't worry.
Oh, God.
It is gonna be pretty heavy though.
Oh, my God. I don't even know if I should look forward to moving it into my game room.
What do you mean?
Like, what if it breaks my little cart?
It's not gonna break your cart.
My 1,000-pound Harbor Freight cart.
Yeah,
That
it's
should
gonna
be
be
fine.
fine.
It's only 389 pounds.
Yeah. Well, that's with the thing too. I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
You say that now. It'll probably weigh your car down.
It could.
It's gonna max your tow limit.
No,
You're just a
I
little
don't think
quicker.
it's gonna max my tow limit. I
Um,
don't think that's going to happen.
Hey, I just met a new pinball person in Duluth.
Did you?
Yeah, he recently moved from Texas back to Duluth, and I've been meaning to meet him. And he has an older EM. I was gonna check out, see if I can help him with anything, and then he's into 3D printing and stuff, so he could help me too. So I've been messaging him on Facebook, and hopefully we can kind of connect up and have some hangouts now that everybody's vaccinated. So that's also a good thing. We can get weekly or monthly little shindigs going again.
I like that. I like that.
There's also a F1 race this weekend.
Well, the other thing, I guess there's an unsung hero among us. I think we definitely need to talk about that for just a quick moment.
Chelsea.
Well, obviously, it goes without saying that Chelsea
Oh,
is one of the unsung heroes because she puts up with my bullshit and hasn't killed me yet. By the way, listeners, if I go missing, check underneath any recently built pole barns. I'm sure she's hidden my body underneath there. She watches a lot of murder mystery shows. I'm not saying I'm in danger, but if that woman wanted to get rid of me, you would not find me. But what I am talking about, though, I love you, Chelsea. What I am talking about, though, is uh, so first we need to give our listeners an apology because Parnell sucks, and occasionally so do I. And we took a break there, not because we were really planning on it's getting too much. We're coming up with too much pinball content. It was more just we had a bunch of stuff going on. I was buying a car. Uh, you guys get a little extra sneak peek tidbit. There was a camper that was purchased as well. So that happened. So there's been a lot of kind of things going on in my life, and same with Parnell's. So one of the biggest struggles that Parnell has had, because this has really been on his shoulders, and he deserves a little clap for helping out, is he's been editing every podcast, and some of these podcasts get to be over 2 hours long, and there's a shitload of time to be listening to yourself and another jackass ramble on for 2 hours every week. So we hired a slave. I mean, we have a volunteer who said that they wanted to step up and help edit all of our episodes, and not going to say no to free labor, right? Like, who does? So Zach, one of our listeners, stepped up and said, "Hey, I'd really like to take some work off of your back so you guys can focus on coming out with content regularly, you jackasses. And I want to help in any way I can." So Zach is actually going to be our new editor. So I really hope he has fun listening to Parnell go, um, uh,
Yeah, yeah.
and editing all those out.
Hopefully it's not too bad.
I mean, I think we've been getting better as we continue to podcast, but that's
You think
definitely
it
something that needed to be addressed.
does
So,
it get better with
listeners,
beer?
no.
Probably not.
Yeah. And you're tired and a few beers deep now. So, woo.
I love when my kids wake me up at 5 a.m. It's great.
Hey, well, the good news is you're going to get to come down here at like 10 and come play Rick and Morty. Wubba lubba dub dub.
I'm gonna have to make sure I have some Red Bull on hand just to make sure I make it back.
Well, we'll probably be talking the whole way while you drive back, anyways.
Yeah, so if Zach edits this, thank you so much. It isn't the worst thing, it's just very tedious. And it's a skill and what do you call it? It's like a
Well, it takes a lot of
what am I
time.
thinking? It's like a trait, like a skill and a
An
learned
art,
art that is not for everybody. And he actually said he has some audio experience.
a craft. Maybe that's what you're looking
Craft?
for.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Something with it isn't just you can't just pick it up and be amazing at it. It definitely takes time.
Yep. In practice. And boy, howdy, is he going to get that because we're going to start coming out with episodes more regularly now that he can presumably pump through an episode in a night, whereas historically it's taken us sometimes almost a week to from when we recorded to when you guys actually get to listen to us and it's posted up. So we're definitely excited about that. We're excited to have Zach on our team here. Um, maybe we'll even have him on one night, kind of get a little bit of info on him and hear his thoughts and opinions about the P3 and my basement downstairs, and kind of talk to someone who's not a big pinball person necessarily, but has definitely gotten an itch and the bug. Because if you're a friend of mine, I don't really give a shit if you like pinball. You're going to come downstairs and play my pinball machines when I get new ones, and we're going to talk about it. And unfortunately for a bunch of my friends, or fortunately, all depending on how you want to look at it, they've now started to become pinball people. They don't own a pinball machine necessarily, but they all know what games they like. They know what games they don't like. They can tell you about like how a game feels a certain way. They might not be able to explain it exactly, but it's pretty fucking incredible to be able to take somebody that like has no idea or knows that a pinball machine is a coin op machine and there's a little steel ball bearing bouncing around in there, and watch them evolve from pinball go flip to really being able to have conversations after they've played like a new game and talk about like that experience. So that'd be cool to have him on too, I think, at some point.
Yeah, it's always fun to hear people's opinions that aren't deep in the hobby like we are.
Right, because we're the wine snob aficionados. I think earlier today I literally was having a conversation with Parnell. We were talking about how I had picked up a Playboy and a Demolition Man, and they lasted my basement all of 2 weeks. And I didn't literally say it like this, but in my head after I'd gotten done saying it, I heard myself saying it as like, well, you see, next to the other amazing pinball machines I have downstairs, those two just clearly didn't stack up to the rest, and I had to get rid of them.
Clearly.
Clearly. But that does kind of happen. Once you get deep enough into it, you can pretty quickly tell if you like, if this pinball is like a pinball you're just going to play on location, out in the wild, you pump a few coins into and then just kind of like move on, or if this is one that you really want to have in your basement. So that's definitely something that me and Parnell have kind of become, is a bit of snobs. It's okay though. I don't mind.
I'm just turning into like a poor snob.
Yeah,
It's like
you a
can't
poor
buy
snob.
anymore. Can't buy any more games, so
Well, you're about to buy a P3, man. That's like the creme de la creme.
oh yeah, but like after that, it's all done.
So I just want to let you guys know. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm lighting a candle. Chelsea, I just want
Did
to
you
give you a
fart?
shout out. No,
Oh,
uh, I lit it because it honestly smells really good. Um, so the flavor of the candle, which is also the name of it, is "I love your personality, but that dick though." And it says, "Warning: contains the following shit: fantasies, wet dreams, beautiful nightmares." And it's handmade by wizards, apparently. It's like an apple cinnamon candle. I just kind of like burning it occasionally, and I don't know. Random fucking tidbit. Welcome to the inside workings of Ryan's ADHD brain. But thanks for the
where
candle, Chelsea.
where did you get that stuff?
What do you mean?
Where did that one come from?
It was just sitting here, and I really wanted to smell it. Hey, Zach. Another thing,
Wow.
I don't know if this is going to stay in the podcast or not. It's probably going to get cut. That's fine. I just want to let you know. Really good at getting off topic, especially if we don't have show notes. And spoiler alert, we don't have show notes
No show notes.
tonight. You can tell when we don't have show notes because it devolves into this.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, whatever. Um, I think that's really about it, though. In all actuality, I don't think we really have anything else to report tonight. Oh well, the Mandalorian came out. We finally saw pictures.
We
Um,
get gameplay tomorrow, so
we do. So we'll talk about that more when we see more gameplay of it. We did see a picture of Spooky being
oh god,
super ha
vague.
ha ha and super duper vague. We got a super zoomed in shot of something. We don't know what it is. It's the next game, and Pinside has been carefully deconstructing it. And Ben Heck has commented saying if Pinside had been around in 1963 when oh boy, give me just a second. I gotta find the quote because goddamn, it was good. So in 1963, Kennedy was assassinated, and the Zapruder film was, I think, one of the only films that actually has that happening. But anyways, he said, "Dear God, if Pinside had existed in 1963, y'all would have solved the Zapruder film in 17 minutes because it is really incredible watching these motherfuckers like try to go to town and figure out and deconstruct this like very blurry, zoomed in, not helpful picture at all, and just hearing people like come up with reasons as to why their opinion is the one that's right based on X, Y, and Z. And it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Uh,
Uh,
it should be soon.
it should be. Yeah. And I think I've heard soft confirmations, whispers through the grapevines, that there is a TNA 2.0 that is going to happen. So
Yeah, we'll see when it
hopefully
happens.
TNA 1.0 prices don't tank. We'll find out.
I wouldn't think so, but
We'll find out. Well, with that, listeners, good evening, good day, and good night.
oh my
Thanks for
gosh,
listening.
flip super hard.
Flipping so hard. Goodbye.
Flip, flip, mash, mash.
I'm not sorry.
Oh yeah,
Gary Stern.
and it's not a Juicy Lucy.
Handmade by wizards, apparently.
We should cut that out.
But that dick, though.
Very refreshing.
Oh my God, how embarrassing.